Hey guys, I'm back with another video, but instead of a shoutcast, this time, I'm going to beat the first challenge that Blizzard has presented us. By beat it, I mean I'm going to get gold. And so, just get this started right away. No time to lose. Just waiting for this to load up. For syncing purposes, for me, you guys don't have to do this because, of course, you're going to be watching on YouTube. For syncing purposes, sync it up when my siege tank sieges, and I'll call that off, of course. So right away, I'm just going to send my Hellions up to the spot with the Zerglings. That would be the upper spot. One siege tank to the supply depot. That's all you're going to need. And I'm not going to siege them just yet. Actually, yeah, I may as well do that. All right. So I'm going to siege my siege tank up in 3, 2, 1 now. Alright, that's actually a pretty good location. The thing for the siege tank is that you want him in a good spot, just that his range barely coincides with that green spot they don't let you enter in the beginning. So you can blast away at the banelings. And all you're going to need is just one siege tank at the baneling spawn. Really don't need more than that. I'm going to get my marines down here at the southern position. And of course my medevacs are going to accompany them. Marines are the only thing they give you, aside from the Ghost, of course, that can attack Mutalisks, so you're going to have to use them. I'm going to try to space them out a bit, so the Glaive Worm doesn't jump too much. Medevacs are needed here for some support, and besides, Medevac can only heal biological, which neither Hellions nor tanks are. Doing my best to space them out here. If you're like me, then you have problems microing low HP units. And that becomes an issue on this part with the Mutalisks. I usually end up losing around 4 Marines. 5, I'm having a real off day. And that's usually okay, really, because I don't lose units in many other levels. There's one other one with a bunch of Hydralisks that also irritates me, and I lose a couple units there, but this one especially. Then I'm left with one Ghost. I don't really know what to do with him. I figure I don't need him against the Banelings. You're going to see why in a little bit. And I really don't need him against the Zerglings, so I figure I'll just get some extra firepower for these Marines here. Against these Mutalisks, I'm also going to try to tank a bit with my Medevacs. I'll put them out here in front. And I'm going to get my Ghost down here. And I'll just cloak him up as soon as this wave starts, and I'll just try to get as many sniper rounds off as possible. I'm also not going to use Stimpak because that would make it even harder to micro. I'm also trying to put a decent spacing between these Marines so that if need be, I can just micro them out and try to get them to the back. We'll see how that goes. I should not lose any other units in any of these other waves, though, at least for this round. So, incoming attack. It should be really easy with the Hellions. Oops. I almost screwed up there, but basically just move, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack. I kind of screwed up at the beginning because I misclicked. I didn't hit A hard enough. And really, you can do this without losing a single unit, or without losing any health. But I got a bit sloppy. I messed up with I misclicked there with my A, and I almost lost a Hellion there, but I was never really worried. Okay, so here we go. Siege Tank has these Banelings. Should blast away. You should get 1 or 2 shots away. And there. So 2 are alive, and that should, yeah, usually 1 or 2 should get through, maybe 3. But that's never enough to take out your supply depot or your tank. So here we go. I'm going to cloak this Ghost. I'm going to pull it off as many sniper rounds as possible, just to make it easier for my Marines. And I'm going to try to move my Marines around. I got 3 Marines down, 4 Marines down. That's not good. And I'm going to keep trying to move them around. Got to tank a bit with these medevacs, but they don't want to hit the medevacs, which is a bit annoying, but oh well. Now, I've had 2 sniper rounds left in my Ghost, but I needed to micro my Marines, so I kind of left them alone, which is kind of a bad move on my part, but whatever. All right, round 2. So I've actually noticed that 3 Marauders do quite a bit of damage to 1 Ultra, so I'm gonna go ahead and throw 3 Marauders out there. Hydralisks. This is the level with the Hydralisk wave. Those are a lot of Hydralisks, and Hydralisks have high DPS. I'm actually going to use 4 siege tanks with these guys. I'm going to send 2 siege tanks up to the Roaches. The rest of my Marauders up to the Roaches, because Marauders are great against armored units, which Roaches count as. I'm going to send my Marines over to help out against the Hydralisks because they're not really needed anywhere else. Medevacs always with the Marines because Marines need them the most. Siege tank positioning is crucial. I'm going to set up the one with the Hydralisk first. I'm going to set one up right in front of the supply depot, which is pretty good range. I'm going to set one a little, my left one, I'm going to set a little higher forward. So you can get a couple of shots off as well. And I'm going to try to space these out well enough so again, so that if need be, I can micro the Marines between the siege tanks. Marines are small enough, they have a small enough collision size for that. Although I think I might move the siege tank anyway. Just in case. Because you can never be too careful with the positioning of your siege tanks. It's especially crucial in this Roach level, because you've only got 2 siege tanks. So you just gotta, if you notice, I have enough space there for, well, I'll put my Marauders in front in a second once I'm done positioning these siege tanks. And when my Marauders get weak, I can just pull them back out. That actually might be a little too, that might not be enough, but I think we'll manage. And, alright, I'm gonna go ahead and start this. Oh, I have one unused unit. It's always the Ghost. I never really know what to do with the Ghost, because it's Ghosts are actually fairly useless against Zerg. But I don't know. I guess I figure I think I'll send him over to the Ultralisk actually, because I don't want to lose him needlessly against the Hydralisk or the Roaches, which I've done on a previous occasion, a couple previous occasions. I forget to cloak him, and then he just gets killed. Kind of a needless death there, because you only get 10 if you want to complete the gold mission. Alright, incoming attack. I'm going to space these Marauders a bit while the Roaches are coming, just so I can micro them a bit better. Alright, siege tanks blasting away. And one Marauder getting... Oh, that's not good. Okay, gotta pull these out. Gotta pull him out. And before you know it, level should be over. As soon as they start focusing one Marauder, I just pull him out. Pretty easy that way. I'm gonna go ahead and cloak up this Ghost, just so that he doesn't get targeted. And... oh shit. Whoops. I didn't tab, I forgot to tab. But in the end, Stimpack, attack move, Stimpack, attack move, Stimpack, attack move, you should be good. Might need to use another one, but whatever. I guess I didn't need to use another one. But yeah. So basically, stim, attack move, stim, attack move. Stim, attack move, attack move, attack move, attack move, and then you should be good. These Hydralisks are a bit of a problem, though, as you may imagine. So I'm going to try to micro my Marines as best I can. It's not working, as you can tell. One tank went down, that was bad. But I only lost a tank and Marine. So I guess tanking with your tank, excuse the pun, is not that bad, after all. Because then I lost minimal Marines, which is good, because Marines are always the issue. Alright, this last level, this last round, is extremely easy. Northern part, send your Hellions up, and your Vikings. And what this is going to do is that what happens is actually the Zerglings are so much faster than Broodlords, they're actually going to charge forward. And the issue is that your Vikings can't be attacked by the Zerglings. So you can just place your Vikings as close as possible, and as soon as the Broodlords come by, they'll just shoot them down. Hellions, I guess I'm actually going to place them pretty close too, and I'll just do the same thing I did in the first round, where I just attack, move, attack, move, attack, move. And the Zerglings will go down before the Broodlords are anywhere near that supply depot, or my Hellions. And then the Vikings will shoot them down. Thors all go to the Mutalisks, to the Mutalisk area. Very easy level. You just got to micro, if I recall correctly, you just have to micro one Thor out of the way. You have to space your Thors a bit well, though, so that the bounce doesn't kill them. Again, not too difficult. I'm going to go ahead and space them while we're talking. And one in front. That should be good enough. Alright, I'm a bit of a perfectionist when it comes to these things. It's more of a selective perfectionist process, but whatever. And the rest of my units can go down to this Roach Hydralisk army. This is actually not a very worrisome army. Since you have all, what is this, 6 siege tanks? Yeah, since you have all 6 siege tanks here, it's actually, a good portion of that army will be blown to bits before they even reach your Marines and Marauders. Just going to position my siege tanks here. Again, positioning is pretty key, so you can micro, should it come to that. Though, you may not even need to. Gotta think where I want to put these. and that should probably be good. I gotta be careful again with that ghost because I don't want to lose that ghost needlessly. And I'll move my medevacs over here. Just gotta make sure I can get through. I'm gonna space these marauders, I think. I might just keep the ghost in the back. He's really... Yeah, I'm just gonna keep the ghost in the back. I don't want him to die. Forget to cloak him or something. If you guys can remember to cloak your ghost, that's cool. But they don't let you use control groups in here. I mean, like, they get reset with every wave. So, yeah, that kind of screws me over in terms of trying to remember to cloak my ghost. Because you'll have them in their own separate control group, if anything. But yeah, ghosts are pretty useless against Zerg. I'll only get them if I'm messing around or as a humiliation unit or something. Anyway, I think we're ready here. I'm going to go ahead and start. You're actually going to see how easy this first wave really is. So I'm just going to I'm going to group up my units real fast. And here we go. Hellions, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move, attack, move. And all the Zerglings are down, all the Broodlords are down. Yeah, it's actually a very easy wave. And the Hellions really aren't needed anywhere else. And actually Vikings aren't very useful against the Mutalisk either. I noticed they actually target your Vikings right away and they die very quickly. Alright, here we go. Xisheng's actually blasted away most of them. I'm going to move this Marauder back. Move this Marauder. Oh, that's not good. I almost lost a Marauder there. And, alright. I managed to complete that wave without losing any units, although I did almost lose a Marauder. Just because of sloppy micro. I got kind of complacent there. Alright, here micro is also kind of key because while you do have 5 Thors, one of them is going to get pretty weak by the time, well, when you're finally finished here. Or actually, I guess they usually don't split like that, but I'm going to have to micro this guy anyway. So back he goes. I'm going to have to micro this guy too. Got to keep in mind Thors are very slow. So, bear that in mind while you're taking out these Zerglings. Or Mutalisks, sorry. And off with their heads. Perfect round, 0 units lost. Yeah, it's a pretty easy round. So, continue, and there we go. 4 units lost to the Mutalisk round in the first wave. 4 Marines, I think it was, yeah. And 2 units lost in the Hydralisk wave, which I believe was 1 tank, 1 Marine. Actually, the tank held up pretty well until it died. Made sure my Marines didn't die. And then no loss in third round. So, yeah, that's it. That's how you beat the Terran one. I'll actually try to put up the Protoss and Zerg ones too, because the basic ones are actually pretty fun. Intermediate ones are pretty fun too, I guess. Not as fun, but decently fun too. The last ones are really boring, the advanced ones. But anyway, whatever. So, stick around. I'll be uploading more videos. For now, I'm signing off.